There is a version of you the world has never met. A version untouched by fear, unmoved by threats, uncontrolled by anyone's opinion. Right now, that version is buried, under doubt, under guilt, under every lie people fed you to make you obedient. They told you to be kind. They told you to be patient. They told you to trust. But all they really wanted was control. Machiavelli understood this game centuries ago. Society rewards the tame and destroys the dangerous. But inside you is a colder, sharper self. A self they can't break, can't control, can't stop. When you awaken this side of you, everything changes. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining yourself. You stop playing fair in a world that never played fair with you. This is not about becoming cruel. It's about becoming untouchable. The moment you step into that hidden version of yourself, you stop being prey. You stop being used. You stop being weak. And you become something no one dares to touch. If you're ready to awaken that side of yourself, stay with me. And hit like and subscribe so you never forget what you're capable of. There is a side of you that has no place in this world. The soft, compliant side. The side that apologizes when you've done nothing wrong. The side that bends to keep others comfortable. The side that fears being disliked more than it fears being controlled. Machiavelli would tell you that version of you must die. The world does not reward kindness without power. It devours it. People don't admire your selflessness. They exploit it. They don't respect your patience. They drain it. Every time you give without calculation, every time you forgive without consequence, you broadcast weakness. And predators always hear the signal. This is why the first step to becoming untouchable is not adding strength. It's erasing weakness. You must strip away everything that makes you easy to break. Stop explaining yourself. No one deserves a window into your soul. Stop chasing approval. Their praise is a leash. Stop believing promises. People lie when it serves them. Power is built on expecting it. You are not here to be agreeable. You are here to be unmovable. This transformation is not gentle. It feels like war, because it is. You are fighting the part of yourself that was trained to obey. Society conditioned you to be good, not powerful. But good, in their language, means harmless. And nothing is more dangerous to you than being harmless. Machiavelli warned rulers never to rely on the loyalty of others. You must apply the same principle inward. Never rely on the loyalty of your own emotions. The same heart that tells you to trust will also lead you into traps. The same compassion that makes you generous will make you vulnerable to manipulation. You must burn out these impulses, not entirely, but enough that no one can weaponize them against you. Here is the dark truth. When you stop being easily hurt, people will call you cold. When you stop being controlled, they will call you arrogant. When you stop playing by their rules, they will call you evil. Let them. Labels are the tools of the weak, desperate to shame the strong back into submission. Kill the weak version of yourself, or it will kill you slowly, by handing your life to anyone bold enough to take it. The new version of you must be a fortress. No one walks in without your permission. No one sees what you feel unless you decide to show it. You are calm when they expect anger, silent when they demand explanation, ruthless when they thought you would forgive. That is when you become dangerous. That is when you become free. You've killed the weak version of yourself. Now you must construct something unbreakable in its place. Not a wall of anger or pride, but a fortress of discipline and calculation. Machiavelli warned rulers never to rely on physical fortresses alone. The real security is in a fortified mind. Step 1. Stop reacting. Start calculating. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They're provoked, and they explode. They're insulted, and they defend. They're tempted, and they obey. This is weakness disguised as humanity. The fortress mind doesn't react. It measures. When someone attacks you, study them. What do they want? Why now? What do they fear if you don't respond? Every insult, every slight, every threat is information. Use it to understand your enemies instead of giving them the satisfaction of seeing you bleed. Step 2. Eliminate the need to be understood. The craving to be understood is an invisible chain. You explain yourself, hoping for approval. You reveal your thoughts, hoping for connection. But the more you expose, the easier it is to control you. The fortress mind is silent. It does not broadcast intentions, fears, or plans. Let others live in confusion. When they can't predict you, they can't trap you. Step 3. Train for discomfort. Weak people break because they've built lives around comfort. The moment hardship arrives, they panic. You must do the opposite. Seek discomfort deliberately. Fast when you can eat. Work when you'd rather rest. Say no when your emotions beg you to say yes. The more pain you master voluntarily, the less power pain has over you when it's forced upon you. Machiavelli would say, "A prince who depends on fortune is doomed. A prince who disciplines himself controls fortune itself." In other words, train now so the world can't surprise you later. Step 4. Redefine betrayal. The fortress mind expects betrayal. It is not shocked when allies turn, when friends reveal themselves as enemies, when family lets you down. Most people fall apart because they believe loyalty is permanent. It isn't. People are loyal only until it's no longer profitable for them. Accept this as law. When someone betrays you, they are only being human. Your preparation ensures you lose nothing when it happens. Step 5. Weaponize patience. The strongest man is not the one who strikes first. It's the one who waits until the strike matters. The fortress mind is not impulsive. It is strategic. It can endure disrespect without responding immediately, because revenge served cold is always more effective. When you wait, you make them comfortable. When you make them comfortable, they make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, you own them. When you build this inner fortress, the world changes how it treats you. People can sense when you are no longer desperate for approval. They can feel when you are immune to manipulation. This terrifies them. They will try to provoke you, test you, lure you back into old habits. You will give them nothing. No anger, no explanation, no reaction. That is power, real power. Not the kind you have to announce, but the kind they recognize instinctively. You become the one person no one dares to push, because nothing they try works. The fortress mind does not isolate you. It liberates you. You can engage with people without fear, because no one has access to your core. They can attack your name, your money, your image, but they can't touch you. A fortress mind protects you from being controlled, but protection alone is not enough. Machiavelli understood that power must be projected outward. If you merely defend yourself, people will keep testing your walls. If you project fear, they stop attacking altogether. This is how you deal with manipulators, enemies, and anyone foolish enough to challenge you. 1. Never fight battles they choose. Manipulators will provoke you into conflicts on their terms. They will spread rumors, bait you with insults, or lure you into emotional reactions. If you meet them head-on in public, you fight on their battlefield. And even if you win, you look desperate. The Machiavellian way is to stay silent. Let them believe you're passive. And then strike at the moment of your choosing. Destroy their credibility quietly. Remove their resources without announcing it. Make their allies doubt them until they stand alone. When you move, it feels less like a fight and more like fate closing in. 2. Become unreadable. Manipulators need information. They watch your face, your tone, your habits. The more you reveal, the easier it is for them to pull strings. So you give them nothing. Do not explain why you made a decision. Do not reveal who you trust. Do not share what angers you. When you are unreadable, every move you make feels calculated, even if it isn't. They grow paranoid. They make mistakes. They imagine dangers that don't exist. Fear is most powerful when it comes from uncertainty. 3. Reward loyalty coldly. Punish betrayal colder. Power is maintained not by being liked, but by making people understand that betrayal has a cost. This does not mean open threats. Open threats invite rebellion. The Machiavellian way is quiet punishment. If someone crosses you, cut them off completely. Not with drama, but with finality. No warning, no second chance, no conversation. They're simply erased from your world. For those who remain loyal, do not smother them with gratitude. Show calm recognition. Keep them guessing whether your favor is permanent. People value rewards more when they are uncertain they'll keep them. 4. Divide and control. Your enemies will try to unite against you. Stop them before it happens. Machiavelli advised rulers to pit factions against each other. You must do the same socially. Subtly spread doubt between potential threats. If two people could combine forces to challenge you, make sure they distrust each other before they ever meet. A divided enemy is harmless. 5. Let your strength be rumored, not displayed. The modern fool flaunts his power, shouts about his wins, posts every success, threatens loudly. This creates targets. Machiavelli understood that power is strongest when it is felt, not advertised. When you move, move quietly. When you win, let others whisper about it. Rumor makes you seem larger than life. People fear shadows more than they fear swords. When you project cold strength, manipulators avoid you entirely. They target the weak instead. Enemies think twice before plotting because they don't know how you'll respond. You are no longer merely defending your fortress. You've made the surrounding land so hostile that no one dares approach. This is not cruelty for its own sake. It is strategy. By making yourself untouchable, you remove the need for constant conflict. You no longer waste energy fighting every petty challenge. The world simply learns. This is not someone to test. Cold strength inside you is invisible unless you project it outward. A fortress mind is a weapon. But like any weapon, it only deters enemies if they know it's there. Machiavelli understood that rulers survive not just by power, but by reputation. If people believe you're dangerous, they won't even think about testing you. Your goal is to build an aura, a presence that radiates calm power, the kind that makes people think twice before crossing you. Here's how. 1. Speak less, mean more. People who talk constantly reveal their thoughts, their fears, their limits. The fewer words you use, the more weight each one carries. When you finally do speak, do it slowly, without emotion. Never rush to defend yourself. Never over-explain. People will begin to hang on every syllable and fear what you're not saying. 2. Never show desperation for anything. Desperation is blood in the water. The moment people sense you need money, approval, allies, or love, they gain power over you. Act as though nothing is urgent and nothing is vital, even if everything is on fire behind the walls. Machiavelli wrote that fear of losing power makes rulers weak. The same is true for you. The less you appear to need, the more powerful you seem. Third, let mystery do the work. An aura is not built by shouting about your strength. It's built by letting others guess what you're capable of. Be visible enough that people notice you, but invisible enough that they can't figure you out. Show flashes of power without showing your full hand. If they know what you're capable of, they prepare for it. If they suspect you're capable of anything, they stay paralyzed. 4. Use small displays of ruthlessness. Reputation is shaped by stories. Machiavelli advised princes to make examples, to punish just enough to keep others obedient without causing open revolt. You must do the same. If someone crosses you publicly, do not rage. Do not debate. Simply end their influence quietly, professionally, socially, or financially, in a way everyone notices. One calm, calculated act of discipline echoes louder than endless speeches about strength. 5. Control your image obsessively. The fortress mind protects you from inside attacks, but your aura is how the world judges you. Dress with precision. Move deliberately. Maintain eye contact as if you have nothing to fear, because you don't. Walk into rooms as though you own them, even when you don't. People are primitive. They read posture and tone before they hear words. Machiavelli warned that it's safer for a ruler to be feared than loved. The same applies to you. Being loved makes you a servant to people's expectations. Being feared makes you free. The effect. When you project fear and authority correctly, you won't need to fight as often. People will handle you carefully, like a blade they can't tell is sharp until it's too late. Allies respect you more because they know where you stand. Enemies hesitate because they can't predict your moves. This is not arrogance, it's survival. The moment you stop signaling weakness, the scavengers leave. The moment you stop signaling need, manipulators vanish. The moment you carry yourself like a ruler, people instinctively treat you like one. When your aura is solid, you are no longer simply defending yourself. You dominate the space you occupy. The world whispers about you instead of questioning you. And when people whisper about your power, you've already won. Power that isn't permanent is no power at all. It's a costume, impressive for a moment, then stripped away by time, temptation, or betrayal. What you've built so far, the fortress mind, the ruthless discipline, the aura of calm strength, must now become unshakable, not a phase or a trick, but the way you exist in the world. Machiavelli knew that holding power is far harder than seizing it. One moment of carelessness, one lapse into softness, and everything collapses. To stay untouchable, you must live by standards that never bend. You decide now what is non-negotiable: your time, your respect, your principles, and you enforce those lines without apology or exception. If you break your own code once, the world will sense it and keep pushing until the fortress crumbles from the inside. Guard your circle as ruthlessly as you guard yourself. Those who stand beside you are either sharpening your edge or dulling it. The moment someone treats your loyalty as cheap, they've shown you who they are. Remove them, quickly and without ceremony. Even kings fall when they allow the wrong people inside the gates. But the deadliest enemy isn't outside, it's comfort. Power breeds ease, and ease rots discipline. When the victories start piling up, when people finally fear disappointing you, you'll be tempted to relax, to think you've earned the right to drift. That is when you're most vulnerable. The wolves you beat back will keep circling, waiting for you to blink. You must train harder after each win. Raise your standards when things are smooth, and act as though every day is an ambush waiting to happen. Cold power must never sleep. Sometimes strength means stepping back. The untouchable man doesn't need to fill every room or fight every battle. When you withdraw strategically, people whisper and wonder. They can't read you, can't predict you, and in that uncertainty lies control. Machiavelli wrote that men fear what they cannot see, become the figure they can never fully grasp. Even those closest to you should never feel total ownership of your mind. Be warm enough to inspire loyalty, but distant enough that no one mistakes your favor for weakness. Let them earn your presence again and again. When people believe they completely understand you, they grow careless. If they grow careless, they grow bold. And bold allies can become dangerous. Discipline must become your nature. The unaffwithable man doesn't act when he feels like it. He acts because it is his law. Mood is irrelevant. Anger, fatigue, loneliness, none of it matters. If you only stay sharp when it's easy, you'll dull at the first sign of pain. Train your mind and body to execute regardless of how you feel. Routine replaces emotion. Principles replace impulse. This is how your power stops being fragile. When you live this way, strength is no longer a performance. It isn't something you switch on when challenged or fake when eyes are on you. It's constant, structural, unyielding. People will test you, but there is nothing to test. They will try to break you, but there is no seam to pry open. They will try to control you, but there's no handle to grab. They will try to stop you, but by the time they recognize your movement, it's already too late. This is the final stage, cold power made permanent. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it. It's in how you stand, how you speak, how you refuse to rush, how you refuse to need. It's in how you enforce your code, even when it costs you. It's in how you live as though no one has permission to touch your mind. Machiavelli's wisdom was never about cruelty for its own sake. It was about survival in a ruthless world. And once you master these principles, you don't just survive, you reign. You become the man who cannot be broken, cannot be controlled, cannot be stopped. Power is not an accessory. It's not a mask you wear when it's convenient or a trick to pull when you need to impress someone. True power is what remains when the applause stops, when the crowd leaves, when no one is watching to reward you. Throughout this journey, we've torn down the weak version of you, the compliant, apologetic self that bent to others to avoid conflict. We built the fortress mind, trained it to stay calm when tested, ruthless when necessary. We crafted an aura that speaks louder than words, the kind of presence that makes people hesitate before ever thinking of crossing you. And then we locked it all into place, so that it's not a phase, but a way of life. If you followed every step, you're no longer living for approval. You're no longer explaining yourself, no longer letting moods or fear dictate your decisions. You don't need to shout, threaten, or prove anything. People feel it when they're in the presence of someone untouchable. They sense the discipline, the standards, the silent confidence that doesn't rise or fall with anyone's opinion. That's the core of Machiavellian power. You have made yourself into someone who cannot be broken, controlled, or stopped. Not because you told the world, but because you built a life that makes it true. The world around you hasn't changed. It's still filled with people who lie, manipulate, or push boundaries to see what they can get away with. What's changed is you. The version of you that could be guilted, pressured, or tricked is gone. In its place stands someone who moves with precision, who chooses words like a weapon, who rewards loyalty but never depends on it, who disappears when it serves him and strikes only when he decides the moment is right. You've learned that you don't have to be cruel to be feared. You don't have to be loud to command respect. You don't have to play the games others play. Because real power is not about controlling everyone else. It's about controlling yourself so completely that no one else ever gets the chance. This is what it means to be truly unwithable. You've cut off the handles people once used to move you. You've armored yourself against manipulation. You've stopped broadcasting weakness, stopped bleeding energy into people who don't deserve it. You've made your emotions serve your purpose rather than letting them rule you. And you've accepted the cost. Because there is a cost. People will call you cold. They'll call you distant, arrogant, or even evil. Let them talk. Their labels are nothing more than weapons of the powerless, trying to pull you back down to their level. You don't owe anyone warmth, obedience, or an explanation. You owe yourself the life you came here to live, and that life demands strength. Remember this. Power isn't a moment. It's a posture. You don't get to take a day off from being disciplined. You don't get to relax your standards because you're tired. The minute you let softness creep back in, the world will notice, and it will test you again. That's why this can't just be a lesson you watch once. It has to be how you move every day. Quiet, focused, strategic, relentless. When you live this way long enough, it stops feeling like effort. It simply becomes who you are. If this message spoke to you, don't just let it fade as another video you watched. Apply it. Burn it into your routine. Revisit it when you start to slip, when comfort tempts you, when the old weak self tries to crawl back. And if you're serious about building this version of yourself brick by brick, then stick around. There's more coming, more tools, more strategy, more unfiltered truth to help you rise above the noise and own your life completely. If you're ready to keep building this ruthless discipline and stay 2 steps ahead of everyone who underestimates you, hit that like button and subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because every reminder, every lesson, every insight is another weapon in your arsenal. You've come this far. Don't stop now.